Well, personally, I'd like to see all our schools stay open. One of the things that I would like to see out in the state is I'd like to see our tax dollars follow the student. That way, the number of dollars that are allotted to that student, parents would be able to decide where their child goes to school. And that would make, the fair market would make the decision for us. Was there a second part of that question?
I think one of them was, what size school? I think you indicated.
Oh, as far as the size of the school, I don't believe there's necessarily the smallest. I don't think that we necessarily have to look at the smallest size of the school that we're going to try and save. I think we should look at ways for the money to follow the student and allow the free market to bear that out. We've seen how Chester's had a good bump in enrollment just with open enrollment alone. And I think that was a good first step, but I think we need to follow it up with money following the child and let parents have the final decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bjorklund. I'll again try to paraphrase the question. The question is, with the budget deficit the state's facing, how would you feel about school consolidation? And is there a smallest school size that you should believe should be set? Next to that question will be Patricia Stricherz.
Our school funding formula is per child, and I believe it's $4,664 and some odd cents per child. So the funding is there for the kids. As far as school size, rural South Dakota, I think we just need to worry about the funding education and not consolidating schools and not worrying about the size of our schools.
Thank you. Next up is Representative Mitch Fargen.
I personally think that you should not force consolidate at all. I want to get rid of the 100 student minimum. I know there's an example 3 years ago, Con D, South Dakota, they had their own school open. They were getting maybe $15,000 from the state. Other than that, they were pretty much funding it through their property tax because they voted to increase their own taxes to run their own school, and the state forced them to close. And just like Patricia was saying, it follows the student. It doesn't fall into the private schools, but it does fall into public schools. So by closing schools, the state saves absolutely no money at all. It's up to the local taxpayers and local school district to fund the education if they want the smaller schools. So I think getting rid of the 100 person minimum is key. And I think actually both, I know Hyde Prim, both Dugard, I think both said they will support and get rid of the 100 minimum schools. So I believe that we will save no money at all by consolidating schools.
Thank you. Next up is Representative Gerald Lange.
Thank you. Corey, as you're aware of, there is a lawsuit before the Supreme Court challenging the state of South Dakota to live up to the Constitution, which mandates adequate education and equal education to all students. They're 17% of our population, but they're 100% of our future. So what we do for them cannot be overestimated. We're helping ourselves by helping our kids. We depend on them for the future. Our kids said, don't take out retirement insurance, retirement home insurance. We'll take care of you. That's the kind of spirit I like from our kids.